So look around this room right now. These people look more attractive to you than when you first came in? See what we would have missed if we were doing conventional dating? So what I found out when I was doing all that dating was everybody in this room is completely works on themselves, has cleared themselves of their prejudice. We're not prejudiced, even though we're all white people here, unfortunately. We're not prejudiced against people of color. We're not prejudiced against gay people. We're not prejudiced against all kinds of things. But as soon as we get into the dating world, we become super prejudiced against people for the way they look, for their age, for their coolness factor, for their whatever. We become super prejudiced and we all think it's fine. Just think about that for a minute. We all think that's fine to dismiss people because they don't look like Jim Carrey or Kate Winslet. Right? We suddenly think it's fine to be super dissing people about things that we would never do in our real lives. So I had to take a look at that because I was just like you in that regard. I was just the same as everyone else. I had been taught to be that way. I had been taught started when I was 4 watching Walt Disney. Probably before that, I saw what Prince Charming looked like. So I grew up, I wanted to be with that guy or some rock star or, you know, all these fantasies that have been painted for me. I wasn't able to see real men. So when we went to the ashram, it became very different because we did exercises, one of which we're going to do later tonight, where we fell in love with everybody regardless of what they look like. But I had to take this into the conventional dating world here and go, wow, look at my prejudices. I can't even see this person. But look, when we sit down and we talk with people, everybody's super cool. But you wouldn't know how cool these people were if we just would have done our first dating glance around this room and gone, nobody here for me. So I had to tell myself the truth. I'm kind of a half-loving person, and I'm very prejudiced, and I didn't think I was. And I realized, why was I attracting men who were half-loving? Because I was half-loving. So that's why I started using dating as a way to, I mean, I was a normal person. I had friends and family and a cat, and I just was like a normal person, loving, I thought. I was normal, which equals not very loving. And I wanted a great love affair. So I knew if I was going to be worthy of that, to attract that, I had to become a more loving person. If I wanted a more loving guy, I had to raise my frequency to that level, because my previous relationships had been difficult and not very good. So how did I decide to practice becoming a more loving person? What you guys are doing. Tantric dating hadn't been invented yet, but I started going out. I would meet just about anybody online and practice. How can I see the divinity in this person? How can I try to talk about something real instead of how many brothers and sisters do you have? Who cares? I mean, if you're going to marry someone, it matters, but who cares? We talk about these really unimportant things. So I practiced, how can I get it out of my own way? How can I see, wow, I have so much prejudice on this person? How can I love them anyway? They don't have to know I'm doing this. They didn't know. They just thought we're having a coffee date. And that's what we were doing. Most people you meet are not going to work out, right? Is that going to be a waste of time, or is that going to be something you can use on your spiritual path? For me, it became definitely a part of my spiritual path. I'm going to use this meeting of people to become a more loving person. And it started working. I started getting closer and closer. I tell this story in my book. I started getting closer and closer and more loving, and then I attracted a relationship that both of us are always saying, I can't believe it's this good. Both of us, you can tell this story, or you don't know which story I'm talking about. Both of us were like, when we were both single, we're like,
what story it is. We were both, once we got to know each other, we both ended up saying, like, you know, I was just hoping I'd have a relationship where we didn't fight as much, or it wasn't as bad. Or, that's what I was hoping. hoping for.
Maybe a little bit better than the last one.
Not quite as bad.
Instead, we got the kind of relationship that everybody's looking for. So part of that was being able to, on the spiritual path, increase my ability to be loving and to get rid of those prejudices, which are bizarre because we would never have them in real life, but they're okay in the dating world. And you'll notice your friends will encourage, they don't know any better, because we've all been brainwashed, your friends will encourage. I had someone say the other day, I saw this great looking guy in the dog park. He'd be a good match for my sister. What does good looking have to do with being a good match? We've been brainwashed that, right? What does that have to do with it? Does that mean I want to sit with you on the couch and hang out and watch a movie, Netflix and chill? Not necessarily. If you're too good looking, I might be sitting there afraid that I'm not cool enough. So we look at these prejudices that we've all been hypnotized into believing are true, and we go, wow, is that the kind of person I want to be? I'm on a spiritual path to not be.